I've made a few videos the last couple of times I've been out, but I couldn't ever actually upload them because I had a problem with my GoPro mic adapter. I thought my mic had broke because I had an aggressive bend in the wire, so I bought a new mic, and that gave me intermittent problems. So my microphone is probably broken anyway, or on its way to being broken. But even with the brand new mic, it still had intermittent problem. So I bought a new mic adapter, 50 quid. Fucking rip off. GoPros are expensive enough as they is to not have to spend 50 quid on a mic adapter. But you know, I had to do it. I've had my mic adapter about 3 years now, since Hero 5. I've had a 5, 6 and 7. So I bought a new mic adapter and it works absolutely fine, I believe. So hopefully I have a mic now. But what did I make videos about? Fuck if I can remember. A couple of things. One was about... actually can't remember what it was the first one I did as well. The other one was about riding aids on your bikes. Do they make it easier to ride or not? But yeah, one was about rider aids. So I spoke about modern bikes such as this. Like, this is the first bike that I had with ABS, traction control, anti-wheelie, the lot, you know, it's got everything. Launch control, it's got the lot, quick shifters. Fucking idiot. And does it make it easier for beginner riders to learn on these types of bikes? A lot of people say it does. On the other hand, I think it makes it more dangerous to learn on. Not only based on, but based on the fact that you become reliant on such assistance, driver aids, whatever you want to call them. Aids are there to do that, they're there to aid you, they're not there to replace your driver skill. That's what I tell people when it comes to driving a car. Now I teach in a car that just has ABS, nothing else. It's got hill start assist actually, but apart from that, nothing else. No fancy reverse parking cameras, no parking sensors, anything. Because I'm going to teach you to drive, not to rely on fucking aids, you know, driver aids. So yeah, not reliant on driver aids if you don't learn with it. Like, I didn't learn to ride a bike with ABS, traction control, nothing. I didn't have a problem with that, learning to ride, you know, it makes you gentle with your throttle. Now I had a race with Connor, just for a laugh. His bike's A2, so there's nothing compared to this. But we've done a race just to see the difference between my A mode with no traction control and my C mode, which is for the wet, with 10 on the traction control. Now 10 on the traction control was fucking dangerous. I fucking hated every second of it. Like a straight pull drag race style launch with no driver aids on, and it was fine. Front wheel lifted a little bit, shut the throttle a little bit, and it was okay. When we come the other way, and I done it in C mode, which is relevant to what mode it's in, that's the traction control mode I'm on about here, how interrupting it is, like how much that cuts your input. On 10 I could hardly accelerate. Now my front wheel, it didn't actually leave the ground, but the weight was leaving the wheel, because on 10 it won't let you leave the ground. I could just show you, I'll go somewhere and show you maybe, if I remember. But to accelerate it was cutting the throttle, so I was full throttle launch just like before with no traction. Launch fine, nice and smooth, power all the way through. On 10 the power was being cut off and it was a very uncomfortable launch. 1, 2, 3, go! Oh, full throttle! Oh, that's fucking dangerous, that is. Now if you get used to riding like that, yeah, you could get used to it. But does it make you safer? Because if you go and launch with no traction control, no anti-wheelie, you're going to end up in trouble quicker than look at it. So I think it might make it easier, it makes it more forgiving when you're learning. It doesn't make it easier to learn. It makes it a bit more forgiving to have the traction control and that there as a fallback. But if you're relying on them systems, there's something wrong with you as a rider. If you're saying every time I go around the corner I put the throttle on, my traction control's keeping me on the bike in the bend, you're using too much throttle. Cut it out, mate. You know, you shouldn't be triggering your traction control anywhere really, unless you're intentionally fucking sliding it out. But you know, if you rely on that traction control to keep you on your bike, then you're riding bad. Like, you're not riding safely. Because if you got on a bike without traction control and all that jazz, you would come undone quicker than look at you, you know. Fucking hell. So yeah, driver aids, that's all I really had to say about it. Is it safer or is it easier to learn on a sports bike or whatever bike with rider aids? What do people think about that? I don't agree with it. I don't think it makes it easier. I think it makes lazy or unsafe riders slash drivers, you know. Because even in the car, when I teach people to drive, I get people get in the car and they say, okay, we're going to do reverse bay parking. Oh, my old driving instructor told me that I could look in the reverse camera the whole time. No, you can't. You'll get marked down for that on your driving test. You've got to look behind you. Nothing takes away from that. But they're teaching people to drive so that they rely on driver aids. Now what if they buy a car that doesn't have that? Are they going to go and reverse into the first car they park in front of at fucking Tesco's, you know? That's absolutely ridiculous why you teach people to drive like that. It's normally the reverse camera that most pupils bring up, especially if they've been in a car with one. They're like, oh yeah, but my other driving instructor had a reverse camera. Well, I don't have that. Fucking hell, mate. Well, I don't have that because then you don't have to rely on it, you know. So yeah, it's normally the reverse camera what people mention. Or parking sensors as well is another one, but I don't mind the parking sensors because you're still looking where you're going, or you should be. And most people who probably park using a parking sensor don't look once. But yeah, most people who probably use parking sensors probably don't even look behind them and just wait for the buzzer to stop and then fucking stop the car. But you should be looking behind you. But the reverse camera, you don't need it in a driving school car. No way. Oh, that's a fucking red light, mate.